אני לא מוותר, אני לא מוותר, אני לא מוותר. אומרים לי מה לך עם מוזיקה של מיעוטים, שחורים, מזוינים, חמושים בעצבים מסוממים, שונאים לבנים, יא גזענים, אני אומר.
After going around the room in class and discussing what objects we would take with us if forced to leave from our homes, I found that many people chose things such as rings, necklaces, and watches. There is something about jewelry that makes the places and people we love seem like tangible objects. Jewish jewelry is not only very beautiful, but it identifies the people wearing it as Jewish and usually evokes some kind of sentimental value. I decided to focus on young women for my interviews because college students are usually the most removed from their religious identity. However, I came to notice many girls wearing Jewish symbols and wanted to find out more about their backgrounds and where and why they wore Jewish jewelry.
I'm Erica Halpern and I'm 21 years old.
Okay. And how religious are you? Like, do you go to temple often or not really?
Only on the high holy days.
High holy days only?
Yeah.
Do you ever celebrate Shabbat or anything like that?
Sometimes when I go home we do, or occasionally go to Hillel.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the piece of jewelry that you're going to talk about.
Okay, so these were my grandmother's, and she was a jewelry designer.
Okay.
Wait,
I'll keep it, yeah, I'll get a
give
picture
like a
up.
close up. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were your grandmothers. Were they passed down to you?
Yeah, they were passed on to my mom and then to me. And so my grandmother was a jewelry designer, and then when she passed away, my mom took over her jewelry design business.
Okay.
So jewelry's kind of been a thing in our family.
Okay. So how long have you had it for?
I think it's like sophomore year of high school, so like 4 or 5 years.
And what kind of meaning does it have for you?
I think that jewelry has always been kind of a thing in my family that represents like all the women in our family. So wearing them kind of reminds me of my grandmother. Like I'll wear them on special occasions. I never really got to know my grandmother, so it kind of reminds me of her.
Well, does it remind you of like Jewish family or just it's pretty?
I guess Jewish family or like strong Jewish women. I come from like a line of like really strong Jewish women who always like go-getters.
Yeah, cool. So do you think this is a piece that you'll pass down in your family?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
I think that's it. I don't know. I think they go with everything. I think it's interesting that they're so old, but they still are kind of in, and I can wear them with different outfits.
Do you have any feelings about like why you feel like people are so attached to jewelry and why it's such an important thing in families?
I think just because it's like one of those things that you pick it out for a reason or design it in my case, and then it's like this person wears it, and so it's kind of like wearing something that they wore. So even though like I've never met my grandmother before, it's kind of cool that I can put these on and feel like she's with me.
Hi, I'm Allison Furman. I'm 20.
And how religious are you? Like how often do you go to synagogue or do you not?
At school, I don't really go very often, but when I'm home, I go every weekend.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about how you acquired this piece of jewelry.
Okay, so I got this ring last winter break. I went on birthright to Israel for the first time, and I went with a bunch of my college friends. And when I was there, I got this piece of jewelry, so it's really sentimental to me because it reminds me of my first trip to Israel.
Okay, and is this a piece that you would pass down in your family to your children?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Hamsa is not an exclusively Jewish symbol. Arab cultures refer to it as the hand of Fatima, representing the hand of God. While it has no Jewish religious meaning, people often believe the Hamsa is a protector against the evil eye, which many Jews believe exists.
I'm Julie Berger and I'm 22 years old.
And how religious are you?
I wouldn't say I'm very religious, but I consider myself a Reformed Jew, so I celebrate all the big holidays. I had a bar mitzvah, and I also have Shabbat dinner with my family every Friday night.
Cool. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your piece of jewelry, like how you got it and when.
So I bought this Hamsa in Israel on my first trip ever to Israel on birthright, and that was in December 2011, and I bought it in Ashuk, which is one of the markets in Tel Aviv. And it's really special to me because I wear it every day, and every time I look in the mirror, I think of how important it is to be Jewish and go to Israel and just really appreciate the fact of being Jewish.
And is this a piece of jewelry that you'll pass down in your family?
Oh, definitely. I hope I still have it, but I'll keep it for myself for a while, and then I'll pass it down to hopefully my daughter sometime.
Does the Hamsa have any kind of spiritual meaning for you?
For me personally, it resembles peace and love and kindness to my homeland and like how I feel about Israel. So.
Okay. And last question: have you heard of the company or place called Hedaya?
Yes,
and
I have.
How do you feel about it?
I've heard of it. All I know is that it's a silver jewelry company in Israel. I don't have anything from the company, but I know it's everyone that does custom makes rings and necklaces and other pieces of jewelry, and those are really special pieces that people make from Israel. But personally, I don't have one, but I would like to have one someday.
My name is Chloe Lahijani, and I'm 19 years old.
Okay, and how religious are you?
I'm conservative.
Conservative. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your piece of jewelry.
So it's my name in Hebrew. Well, it's my Hebrew name, Rachel, and I got it in Israel when I was 3 years old.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so does it have any kind of meaning for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a reminder of my Jewish heritage, and that not only do I just go by Chloe, but also I have another identity, and it's Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a piece that you'll pass down in your family?
Yeah, if my future daughter's Hebrew name is Rachel, I'd love to give it to her.
I'm Marissa Schiller, and I'm 22 years old.
Okay, and how religious are you?
In college, I've considered myself only slightly religious, but hope to be more religious following college when I have more time on my hands.
And tell me a little bit about this piece of jewelry, like how you got it, where it's from, how long you've had it.
Okay, yeah. So I have two things on this hand actually. I have a bracelet that's from Hedaya and a ring that I got in Israel as well. The bracelet's from Hedaya in Israel. And I guess the bracelet is the most special to me. I got it this winter when I went on Birthright. I had been to Israel previously and was given the opportunity to go back this winter break on Birthright, and had always dreamed of having a Hedaya bracelet and was really excited to get to go and pick out this piece of jewelry for myself, and I was able to pick a quote that's meaningful to me and get it inscribed in Hebrew, and from the minute I received it in the mail, I've worn it every day since.
What does the quote say?
The quote says, happiness is not a destination, it's a way of life.
Pretty. Do you think that you'll pass this down in your family?
I have never really thought about it, but I guess that's something that I would definitely consider doing as time goes on and I wear it more and it gains more meaning.
Magen David is the shield of David, or the Star of David. It has no basis in the Torah itself, but became widely used as a Jewish symbol following its adoption as the emblem of the Zionist movement in 1897.
My name is Rebecca Golden, and I'm 22.
And how religious are you?
I would consider myself kind of a Reformed Jew. I used to go to services with my parents a lot.
And tell me a little bit about the jewelry you're talking about today.
So this is a Star of David, and I got it when I first went to Israel when I was 7 years old. My brother was having his bar mitzvah. And I don't really remember much about my first visit to Israel, but having this just kind of reminded me of going to the homeland and my brother becoming a man.
So do you have any, do you feel like there's any significance in wearing jewelry? Like, does it further your identity as a Jew?
I think wearing jewelry like this definitely resonates with me. Like, it puts it more in perspective of, like, your Jewish identity.
What do you think the obsession is with this kind of material culture identity of Judaism?
It's a really good question. I think it's an easy way to identify with your Judaism.
Do you feel like that's why so many young people choose to, wear Jewish stars or
because especially college students, I think that's why so many female Jewish college students wear stuff like this, because they don't get to go to services as much. They don't get to celebrate the high holidays with their families. So wearing something like this, which makes them feel close to home, makes them feel close to their family, makes them feel close to their religion.
So do you know anything about the symbolism of the Star of David, or you wear it just kind of as like an identifier as a Jewish person?
I know that the Star of David just kind of symbolizes Judaism as a whole, but I more so wear it for the significance to my family, and yeah.
Do you think that people rely on material objects too much as a way for not necessarily practicing religion, but kind of identifying?
Yeah. I think it kind of depends on the person and how religious they are by themselves. Like for me, I'm pretty reformed, but I really value myself in terms of cultural Judaism. So I don't feel like I rely on it, but it just comforts me, I guess, knowing that even though I'm not practicing, I still feel close to like my people.
The Kabbalah bracelet, often associated with celebrities like Madonna and Britney Spears, is a way to ward off evil and danger. The red string is made from scarlet wool and is worn on the left wrist. It is knotted 7 times and then blessed. A scarlet thread tied around the wrist is mentioned in Genesis 38. People are not always aware of the specific meaning of the symbols they are wearing. However, religious jewelry can remind people of God's presence, create a connection to Israel, and even help people to remember loved ones who have passed on. These objects do not help people practice Judaism itself, but instead remind them of their religious identity while exposing themselves to the world as Jewish.
המעגל חוזר לאותו מקום, בראשית השעה, בראשית הדקה, לא מסגירים סימנים של שתיקה, בראשית המאה, בראשית העשור, מעפר באת לעפר